Greetings and thank you for joining us for the 66th episode of DC Animation with Spencer and Friends. This is an LMG Podcast Production. Today, I am joined by a dear friend.
Love to do this long intro every single time. It's your boy Juice Man, John two times, J squared, John, Triple J, Krayshawn. I go by a lot of names, but it's your boy.
What's funny, I feel like even though it's long, but it's different every time. Like, it's never the same exact intro.
To be honest, I actually do either forget names or add more.
Yeah, okay. And it's like that sometimes. Yes, Juice Man is joining us today. Now, I appreciate you for joining us on this journey through DC animation. You were here in the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, so we
Yeah.
don't need to, go back over all of that. But today's film is Justice League X RWBY Superheroes and Huntsmen Part 2,
Mm-hmm.
released October 17th, 2023, and the comic book on which it was based is RWBY X Justice League. Now, this episode is technically out of release order. However, since this
Oh,
is
okay.
since this is a part one, part two situation, I wanted these two episodes to be next to each other. So yeah, as far as like when these movies came out, it is out of order technically, but this is my podcast. I do what I want. So that is why
I feel you.
anybody who's concerned about that, your questions are answered. So I'll read a synopsis in 9 words and then we're just going to talk about it. So we open with Ruby recapping part one. The Justice League returns to their world and lets us know that Grimm are everywhere and causing a ruckus. Killer Croc and Batman save a girl from Grimm, and Ruby handles some Grimm snakes. Batman, Cyborg, and Vixen come across Kilgore, but Batman ends up getting poisoned. Ruby is feeling a little too good, and that's making her reckless, and the team raises their concerns. Kilgore meets with his partner, and Flash scours, trying to find Team Ruby. The Justice League and Ruby have a Zoom meeting and make a plan to stop Kilgore and his mysterious partner. They realize that time is moving differently in both places, and Team Ruby goes to the lab to do some research, but they get attacked by some defense robots. The Justice League is able to bring Team Ruby to their world, and upon arriving, they realize that things are very different for them. New Grimm are attacking and seem to be adapting to the League's weaknesses, so everybody moves to the major cities where the attacks are happening. The Gotham City group decides to Scooby Doo that thing and split up, and they come across a Grim Gyarados, which almost corrupts Cyborg. And Weiss is able to get the poison from the Scorpion Grim that got Batman. Flash is struggling with Kilgore's invasion of his body, and the League heads over to Central City to help Superman with a kryptonite infused Grim. They are able to get that handled, and they all meet up to discuss who could possibly be helping Kilgore. They realize that Arthur Watts is Kilgore's partner, and he sets up a contingency for himself after his death at Atlas. They decide to rest for the night, and Yang helps Flash process the trauma of being possessed. Ruby and Superman connect on dead parents, and Weiss gives Batman the cure to the poison, and Cyborg gets a message from Kilgore asking for help. The group meets and they decide to work with Kilgore but be prepared for a trap. It absolutely was a trap, but Weather Wizard, Mirror Master, and Killer Croc came in with the assist. A fight breaks out and everyone ends up in a digital world. Kilgore possesses Wonder Woman and then possesses Yang, and then Flash vibrates Kilgore into himself. Cyborg figures out each type of Grim and figures that if he can tap into all of them at the same time, then, he can get this thing handled. Kilgore possesses Green. Cyborg uses dust to trap them both in the Digiverse. Team RWBY returns to their world, and the Justice League get back to work. And that's the movie.
All right. Um, Before we even get started. For our audio listeners out there, you don't see the visual, but I'm not gonna lie, just partially listening to Spencer, I definitely been thinking that this cup on his desk has some of that purple drink in it, but just based off of the color, I guess based off of the screen, it looks like that. But it was just funny. I was just thinking about that the whole time. I'm sorry. But go
Oh, so
ahead.
you just weren't listening to me at all. So,
I was definitely listening, but I was just thinking, I was like, wow, he looked like he's drinking some of that purple syrup over there, but okay.
Juice Man, what'd you think of the movie?
It was better than the first one. You know, I'm not even gonna cap. It was definitely better than the first one. Um, I was disappointed to see the animation style was the same.
Uh, okay,
But but you know, I kind of think like I think if you watch the same animation style over and over again, I feel like you get used to it and
I
you just
agree.
kind of like accept like,
This is
okay,
what we're
this
doing.
yeah, this is what it is. And that's just, you know, the nature of things. I mean, it was same thing to me. It was like same thing with One Piece. When One Piece switched animation styles, it was like ugh when they went to the Wano arc. But yeah, it you just have to get used to it. And so I will say, like, and when it first started, I was like, ugh, I'm didn't really want to. This is about to be annoying. But as the movie went, I was like, okay, I'm used to it now.
Okay. I don't know if that happened for me. At the beginning I didn't like it, at the end I didn't like it. Like I just am not a fan of this animation style at all.
But I think it's because like I'm not gonna lie, like the way they was squabbing in this one, the animation style, like it could have been different, it could have been better, but the way they was squabbing, it didn't look horrible. Like I was like, okay, they get into it. I'm seeing more action in this animation style. I can see myself probably watching this if the story of whatever it was good enough. I would I could last with this animation style. Now it did, you know, I had to get used to it, but yeah.
Okay. I I'll say this. I won't say that I hate this animation style, but I will say that compared to other animation styles, it is weak. It is low on the list. It is not great when you play the game of comparison. When
It
you look
has
at it on its
no
own,
years.
it's okay. But because I have seen so many different and better anime style or animation styles, anime and animation, I cannot get behind this. Like
To be honest,
I will never like it as much as other styles.
I still need to know whose idea was it to be like, yeah, we're gonna pull Ruby in for and I okay, so I started doing a little bit of research and I kind of feel like some of the actors who play the voices in for the DC characters, the English actors, they also are voices for different animes. Um, so
I think that's probably true. Just because I feel like a lot of anime cast is anime cast.
yeah,
So usually whenever people are in the anime world, they are just in the anime world.
but I'm saying like there were some of them who played a DC character, but they also play a anime character.
In
Like there's a
different
guy who
shows.
plays in Full Metal Alchemist, but he's also a voice in this. And then there's a another person who's he plays like a ton of animes, but he's also a voice in this as well. And I
Okay.
think one of them was I think the Batman voice actor was
So Troy Baker is I don't know him from anime. I know him from American animation. He's in a bunch of stuff, but he's been Batman more than once. I like him better as the Joker than as Batman.
yeah.
But yeah, he's Troy Baker. I don't really find him in anime much. But
It was him or somebody else. They played
now the dude who played Superman, I think he's been in some anime.
yeah.
I know him. Well, Superman and Batman were both in a previous movie, Battle of the Super Sons, which is also kind of styled like this. But I feel like the voice of Superman, I really know him because I was listening to him and I was like, he sounds like Thor in like he sounds like animated Thor,
Mm.
but without the accent. Because Thor speaks kind of in an old English.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he just kind of sounded like Thor without the yelling and the old English. But who I thought was great, Arthur Watts was absolutely Vegeta.
Yes.
And I didn't I didn't hear him as Vegeta. I heard him as Zarbon. But, you know, Vegeta plays several different people in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I heard Zarbon and I was like, "Oh, that must be Christopher." So, yeah, I thought that that was and I he's probably in One Piece also. Like I feel like is he Zoro in One Piece? Don't quote that.
I don't watch One Piece in English
Oh,
at all.
you don't watch it in English. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure you're a but
Yeah.
you're
No. Yeah, I
oh
don't watch
you're
One Piece in English.
you're one of those.
When I at a certain age, I definitely switched. I think growing up I listened
You're a
I watched it in
purist.
English, but
You're a sub guy.
yeah, after a while I said, yeah, this is a little cringy. I gotta watch it in Japanese.
Cringy. Okay.
I said,
Okay.
some of the
Yeah.
acting, some of the thing, like some of the things, and the reactions, it sounds better in Japanese. I'm sorry, I can't listen. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You're one of those.
I would say go like yeah, yeah. Goku
You're a
Japanese
purist.
is I would say I prefer it in English, but I think when I decided to switch over to Japanese just for everything, I was just like, this is what I'm sticking with.
And I think that because I mostly had like the big ticket anime, so like growing up, Dragon Ball Z, Inuyasha, like they did pretty good with the English
Yeah, I'm like,
dubbing for those.
you don't get that quality anymore though.
And I think that unless it's a really big anime, that seems to be the case. Like that's what I've heard. Because I feel like the voice acting and like in My Hero, pretty good English
Yeah, it's not
dubbing.
bad.
Vegeta is also All Might. Uh, yeah, he was yeah, that was Arthur Watts. But um Demon Slayer is one that I need to check. I haven't watched Demon Slayer, but Demon Slayer is a big enough show where I would imagine they got quality voice cast for that. Naruto, they have a really good English voice cast for that.
Mhm.
So I feel like the big, huge anime, they absolutely get quality voice acting in English. But for the even like a tier down, like any anime that is not at that level, it's it can be jarring.
Yeah, because I think they like yeah. Trying to watch
Because
like reincarnated as a slime. I was like, I definitely gotta watch. I don't even. That might not have been. It might not have been the one I was listening to in English, but it was not good. I will say some of the smaller ones that you just see that's not as big as large ones. Yeah, it's
okay,
irritating.
and I think the more anime you watch, the more you become a purist, honestly, because there are anime where the voice acting is a little like, oh, you didn't put any budget in that.
You meant nothing by what you just said.
Yeah, like you didn't make me feel nothing. And when you voice act, you gotta come with it because you don't have the luxury of having your body as a tool. But okay, yeah. I would have assumed that One Piece got like quality because they're no, like it's known as a part of the holy trinity of millennial anime or I guess Gen Z anime. But anyway,
I think
it's
it,
known
it
as the trinity.
I think it did. I feel like it used to, but I feel like now, nah. Plus, people they don't have time to wait. I don't even know if the English is caught up or not. It might not be, but
That's also true. Like I
One Piece
think
is one of
people
those things where you can't. It's so much stuff going on. You have to be caught up. You can't wait. You're gonna get spoiled in some type of form or fashion.
that makes sense. Yeah, people who are locked into One Piece, yeah, like you gotta watch that when it soon as it dropped, you gotta lock in.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I probably that is true. I think that there are like based on the nature of this, I would not be surprised if there are a lot of anime voice actors in this. But I did notice that Vixen was voiced by the same person who voices Hannah in Gears of War, and that's just because I love Gears of War. It has a very
Yeah, I was
special place in
like,
my heart. So, of course I heard that. Um,
bad take. I've never played it. I didn't cap to you.
and that's fine. Uh, it's
I,
probably low on the shooting game priority list for a lot of people.
I bought
You
it on
know,
my Xbox recently, but I played
oh,
like opening. I tried it on the hardest difficulty, and I ain't gonna lie, I was
why
like,
would you do that?
because
That was a
that's
terrible.
what I
That was a really
usually
bad
play
idea.
games on the hardest difficulty, and I'm like, okay, like, especially this is an old game. I'm like, this is about to be what it is. I play
Yeah,
games a lot, hardest difficulty. I'm not gonna lie. The game was impossible. I said, I don't think I could do this if it was on the regular difficulty.
that is what the mode is called. Or
I was
inconceivable.
honestly, I was so shook. I was like, why is it so fucking hard? I'm playing it on hard, but this is abnormally feels very hard. So I made it like partially through, and then I started playing other things, so I just stopped playing it.
Okay, which Gears of War? The first one?
Yeah, it was the first one. I was trying to go through all the Gears of War because I heard they was about to remaster or remake or
Hmm.
whatever. I think the first one or whatever one. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna play through all the Gears of War and beat them. Yeah, I started on the first one and I was in the tutorial and was dying multiple times, and
Yeah, you don't.
fuck.
It's not a game you play on the
And
hardest
I'm a
difficulty.
person who commits. I set it to a difficulty. I'm not changing that edge. I'm
Oh,
committing to this, and this is what I'm doing.
my guy's a purist in all of the ways.
I
Because
have to stick to it.
absolutely not. I will say I will not go lower than whatever normal is, but I'm not starting on the highest difficulty, especially if I'm not familiar with the mechanics of the game. But all
I just
right.
imagine. I was like, shooter. Oh,
No, Gears of War is a very like that's why I'm good at Gears of War because it's not a standard shooter. I'm not good at shooting games at all. But
yeah,
I'm
it's
sure you
definitely not a
figured,
standard shooter.
between Call of Duty and Fortnite, you figured, oh yeah, I'm good. Nah,
Yeah, it
little
was it
little
was
different.
definitely it was different for sure.
But anyway, that was a very long sidebar. Uh, Back to the movie we're here to talk about. So we open with a recap of part one, and the Justice League have returned to their world. And Black Canary's like, hey, glad y'all are back. There are these things everywhere. And, we're like, oh, those are called Grimm. Let's go ahead and take care of it. And then we see Batman and Killer Croc, of all people, working together because the villains of this world are like, no, we not about to let this happen.
I was definitely surprised by that. I was okay. I'm trying to work in more villains into this. Okay. I was
Yeah.
I was trying to picture immediately all the villains we were going to see.
I was thinking we'd get more Justice League people because they kept referring to the reserves
That
of the
is
Justice
definitely what
League.
I thought.
And I was kind of like, I want to see how Martian Manhunter does in this animation style. We did see him in a previous movie again. Battle of the Super Sons is set in the same animation style, but yeah, like I assumed we were going to get the people that were in that movie. So I thought we were going to get, Green Arrow. I thought we were going to get some Martian Manhunter. Like I assumed it would be more League members rather than villains, but the fact that Kilgore's a Flash villain, it doesn't surprise me that two of the three villains we saw were Flash villains
Also
also.
Flash villains. Yeah, I was also trying to figure like maybe they were just adding Flash villains because of just Kilgore, but I'm like, this is also a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
I would expect to see some different people.
Yeah, like I
That's
thought we
more
were going to see like
mainstream.
a little smatter of
Yeah.
like different types cuz yeah, I wondered, but also you kind of have to use villains that belong to a certain city under the circumstances. Like you can't use like a
I don't even know
dark
what city
side.
they were in.
They were in multiple cities, but
That's what I thought. That's what I was like,
like that's why we saw Killer Croc in Gotham,
yeah.
and we saw Mirror Master and Weather Wizard in Central City. In Metropolis, I figured we'd see Lex maybe, but yeah, like
They had
he,
just mentioned them. They didn't even show.
yeah, which is fine. But so yeah, Killer Croc and Batman, save a little girl, and then we see that Batman gets got by a scorpion, and they say. Like, hey, we gotta handle Batman. Like, we gotta take him off the board because he will figure this shit out.
My I was trying they was doing all these like, okay, the Grim have specific things to target people and their weaknesses. I'm like, Batman's weakness is poison, I guess.
I mean,
Uh,
Batman is a normal man, but yeah, like they were just like, whatever it takes, we gotta get him off the board.
yeah, I was, brute force maybe, but I guess poison
Yeah,
also that works.
they had to sneak his ass. And I mean, honestly, not a bad plan. Like, you
It's
take
not.
Batman off the board because if anybody's gonna figure this shit out, it's gonna be Batman. So yeah, let's go ahead and handle that
Now they start
because
going.
yeah, he's got the tech skills, he's got the detective skills, and they say like he's the world's greatest detective. We need to take him off the board.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a bad plan. So um we see that Team Ruby is working, and Ruby herself, she feeling spry.
Oh,
She's Yeah, Ruby was out here
Ruby?
cooking.
Ruby? All-star of the movie.
Yeah,
Best
I agree.
best person of the entire movie.
Okay. Yeah, she was out there cooking, and her sister's like, "Hey, could you slow down?" And she was like, "Hell no, I'm not slowing down. I have shit to do. We working."
I was definitely like, why is she? I was thinking maybe it's because like the whole her and Superman, like Superman gave her like a boost of motivation or whatever, and that's why she was going so hard. Because I was like, oh damn, okay, she's just cooking. She out here just
Cooking. And that's kind of what I thought too. I was like, in the last movie, she was shy and reserved,
yep.
and then Superman came through, and now she out here going to town, going to work. Like, she's not slowing down for nobody. So we see that, Kilgore is just kind of meeting with his mysterious partner who's just like a a, a
Float,
tube of goo.
floating voice.
Yeah. That's all distorted and whatnot. And Flash is really trying to, figure this shit out. He feels like he's at fault. He's really this is
The
getting
man,
to him.
man, traumatized. Like, out of
Yeah.
my head.
Cause yeah, Kilgore's just like still whispering in his ears. And yeah, Flash he's not okay. But yeah, he had to go through the trauma of, getting possessed. And so the Justice League and Team Ruby, they have a little Skype session, and they're like, all right, we need to make a plan. We got to stop Kilgore and whoever he's working with. We don't know who he's working with quite yet. So they realize the time is moving differently because the Justice League is like, I think it's been a few days, and Ruby's like, oh, it's been weeks here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Ruby been cooking for a minute.
Yeah, I was like, when they were trying to describe like maybe they're not in a different here. Maybe they're a phone line. The analogy that they gave, I'm not gonna lie, it didn't make any sense to me. I definitely was like, I'm so confused. I just thought they was in a different dimension.
Yeah, they were like time dilation, and
That
I was
it,
like,
yeah,
okay,
I I
I
I was trying to make sense of it because then I'm like, oh, are they saying like they're in the future or what are you trying to say right now? And then Green Lantern just, portal to me. I said, okay, cool. I'll just
I kind of did the same thing. I was like, okay. But yeah, they realize time is different, and they go to the lab to do some research, and then there are just some like random defense robots that start attacking them. So they deal with that, and then Green Lantern's able to open a portal, and the Ruby team arrives, and they're like, "Oh, hey, where are your cat ears? You don't have those anymore. Why are we all taller?" Like okay, y'all are in the Justice League world now, so they don't have to like they don't have the same like dust and semblance. Is those called semblance? They're like, no, we just have powers.
I was assuming like did they also make them old? They didn't really say that they made them older, but I was assuming like okay, they must be older. This is what I'm going to assume because of the previous of them being young, the Justice League being younger in their world. So
It's hard to say just because since they are teens, I don't know if they actually got aged up or if they were still teenagers because one of the things in the last movie was he said, "I made you teenagers for this reason."
Yeah, that's what I was like. So
But
it didn't make
I don't
sense
know
to
if
me
it
that they got
applied in the
taller though.
reverse. Yeah. And I don't know if they actually got taller. I
Yeah,
just like
it looked like they visibly,
they were noticeably taller.
yeah, they
Yeah.
noticeably grew.
Yeah, like y'all came over as grown ass women this time. But also because it's anime, so they're probably still teenagers because anime does that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they come over and yeah, they notice that things are a little different. But some new Grimm are attacking, and again, they have adopted some league weaknesses, but everybody moves to, handle it. So the group splits up to go, to different cities, and they decide, okay, one of the things we need to prioritize is getting some of that scorpion venom so that we can heal Batman because he's out. And like Batman tries to, get up and help, and Superman's like, get your ass back into bed. Like, what are you doing?
Useless. You know you don't do nothing. We need your
You
brain.
are useless right now. Like, shut up, get back in that bed. You're poisoned. Stop it. You can't help Gotham if you can't stand up. Get back in that fucking bed.
Stop it.
So the Gotham group, they end up splitting up, and then yeah, like I was calling it a Grim Gyarados, but they start fighting these things, and Black Canary notices like, oh, there's a big ass thing with tentacles that keeps like wrapping its tentacles around my throat so that I can't do my Black Canary cry, and this one's got kryptonite in its chest, and that's a problem for Superman. And I kept saying, Wonder Woman, who don't got no weakness,
Yeah, I'm like,
goddamn Wonder Woman.
exactly.
So who's gonna be able to handle this? Now Wonder Woman. But because I was wondering, like, I'm wondering with Green Lantern, like, what they're gonna do. Like, will they just have,
It's literally just creativity. She can do whatever she wants. Literally,
yeah,
there is no weakness to that. So
yeah.
I was like, what if she just wants
As
it,
long as
it's
she has
happening.
willpower,
Yeah, I'm
then
like,
she's able to do whatever she wants. But unless unless they use fear toxin, because that's what Batman did to contain a Green Lantern was dosed with fear toxin, and that will, shake your will.
that's because this
So
motherfucking Batman.
exactly. So they didn't really have an answer for her because she was the one who was a problem. The fact that she can open portals and shit, the fact that she had the power of friendship on her side, she could use the green glow to just, finish the day. Like she's really the one who could, end all of this.
And she honestly, she shot a rocket and
And
then
then
blew
blew
it
that
up.
shit up.
I'm like,
Yeah,
that was
you're,
simple. Y'all were
yeah,
struggling.
yeah. And she just like, oop, done.
Yeah, that monster is done. I'm going on to the next.
Yeah, we did what we needed to do. Because yeah, she was creating shields and shit. But yeah, but again, Ruby cooking.
Ruby, when I tell
Like
you,
she learned her teleport powers immediately because she jumped out the little helicopter and then
yeah,
she
it
teleported and
instantly.
yeah, just started going. And I think Superman was like, "How did you know you could do that?" She was like, "I didn't."
She said, I blinked, nigga.
Yep.
I'm like
Like
that. I'm
yeah,
like that.
yeah, I am him.
Because
Like
she literally, I think what had me more shocked is like she teleported. She was going downward. She teleported as she was going downward to catch her sight. And somehow from teleporting, her projection was leading her back upward
yeah,
towards towards the grill. And I said, "Oh, she's about to cook." And the rest of the movie, she was giving straight hands to every creature, everything. She
all
was
of
the
them.
reason why I was like, "Okay, this animation might not be that bad."
Yeah,
She's
all of them.
Yeah.
She was going. I appreciated her. It looked like one of them, I guess, had fire powers. I guess.
Hmm.
That Yang had fire powers. It looked like one of them, the one whose name I can't remember, because there was Yang, Blake, Ruby, and Weiss.
Twice.
So Blake, uh, she had. It looked like she kind of had the same powers as Raven, but also the same powers as Green Lantern. But
That's what
like,
I
I,
was trying to assume that it was like because she was
li-
making like dark.
yeah, it was dark constructs. So like
Yeah.
I don't know if she could only do like the little blades she was throwing, or if she had the freedom to like it was yeah. She's kind
They
of had
really
like
didn't expand. They really didn't expand on her. She kept doing like dark
blades.
objects that were like flying at towards the enemies, and I kept seeing
Yeah.
that. And then there was one thing that she did, and I was like, okay, maybe her ability is something different than what I originally thought because it definitely seemed more Green Lanterns. Like she was able to do whatever she wanted with her
Yeah.
power.
But she was kind of just throwing dark shards at people, and that was the extent of her usage.
Yeah,
So, but we didn't get to see her cook the same way we got to see Ruby cook. Like Ruby was going.
yeah.
And
Ruby had
not only was she cooking, but she was also able to like help Superman not die.
She was definitely she made majority of the fight scenes like very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Just by what she
She
was doing and the scenarios and everything else.
yeah, like she's the only one that I really enjoyed watching go. And I liked like Vixen pretty good too. Uh
Yeah.
like we'd see like her Animal Flash and then she would do some stuff. So I enjoyed seeing Vixen, but yeah, like Ruby was the one who like they really let her go, and I'm glad. So Flash is still, traumatized because Kilgore invaded his body, and everybody is able to handle the thing that they're dealing with. So, like you said, Green Lantern was able to just shoot a missile at the Gyarados and kill it. Like, honestly, light work for her. Like everybody else is like, oh, we got to distract it. And Cyborg almost got, taken over by it. Cyborg tries to plug into it and then he starts getting
Literally.
corrupted. And yeah, Green Lantern was like, step aside, I got it. Boom. We're done here.
Walked away.
Yeah, easy. So, uh, over in, I guess, Central City, I think is where they were on the bridge fighting the one that had the kryptonite in his chest.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that was Central City.
yeah, I mean that got handled. And so, yeah, after everybody's done with that, they're like, all right, how do we handle this Kilgore problem? Uh, so they figure out, like, they're talking about who could it be. And they kind of start going through a few of their villains, like, could it be
Hmm.
this person? Could it
Yeah, I
be
was
that
about to say
person?
like I have no idea who none of these people are,
I
but
don't know who any, and I'm glad they showed like a picture
yeah, I was like, okay, okay.
because I was like, you just throwing names. I'm not gonna be able to help you.
Yep. Oh, I meant to say this. I do appreciate in the intro of Ruby giving like a she did a recap
Yeah,
of part one, and in there she says this person, this person, this person, Team Ruby. I said, ah, she said the name. Good,
yep,
good. I needed
good.
that.
We love that.
Yep, I don't want to seem stupid no more. I needed that. I need to know.
Yeah. So yeah, I also appreciated the recap. But yeah, so they start talking through who it could possibly be. They're like, could it be this person? Could it be this person? No, they're not that smart. No, they're not, they don't have the means or the resources. Yeah. And then eventually they're like, what about Arthur Watt? And they're kind of like, well, he died, but he's the only one, like, he's a smart dude. So it could be him.
Yep,
And as
crazy
that's
logic.
happening, Kilgore is like, or he says to Kilgore, like, hey, I told you to fix my voice thingy. So now that he's got his own voice, if we had watched Ruby, we probably would have been like, oh, that's exactly who that is. But
Yeah,
we didn't.
nope,
So he had a contingency plan for, I am assuming, his own death after Atlas. I didn't know what any of that shit meant.
not at all. Didn't even know what
But
Atlas was, but
A, you know,
he's a villain here though. The
Ruby,
problem.
thank you for the backstory.
Yep.
Because without it, I wouldn't have been able to help you. So, they decide, let's rest for the night. Because Ruby's like, hey, hey, what are we doing? Let's go.
Trying to get active. Non-stop
They are
active.
about that action. And
Act.
Superman is like, hey, we need to go to sleep.
Like I said, we got reserves. We could put the reserves in.
Yeah,
Put the
we got people
bench
to handle
in. They
that,
can
but
handle that.
yeah, like we're gonna be useless if we're not rested. So let's rest first thing in the morning. I promise you will get to cook, but we need to rest. Everybody here need a nap or something. So, Flash again is blaming himself and trying to get through it. And Yang, kind of talks him through like, hey, this is not something that you're just going to get over immediately. Like, it's going to take you some time. So, be patient with yourself. That's kind of what I gathered from their conversation.
It almost
But
kind of seemed like she also was alluding to like,
I
her,
too have,
her backstory.
yes.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
Because, yeah, like, Flash was definitely like, you're a baby. And she was like, I've lived a lot of life. So.
I thought we was gonna get a flashback, but
I also did, and I was like, "Oh no, no, okay,
no, we're not. No,
that's
she's gonna make that statement and let you, for those who are supporters, you
yeah."
know, you know
People,
what's
yeah,
going
people that were there in 2013,
on.
and who've been on the ride, yeah, like that was for the RWBY fans, but
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not gonna be able to help you with that one.
couldn't tell you.
So,
She
yep,
got a
no,
robotic arm, I guess. I don't
no idea.
know.
Sorry to this man. I do not know this man, but uh. Ruby is in the training room just doing shit, and Superman is like, "Mind if I join you?" And then they start training together, and Superman is kind of like what's all this, what are you trying to prove here? And she's like, my mom's dead and I want her to be proud of me. And Superman's got, I know a thing about dead parents.
Yep.
So they connect, and Weiss is like, hey Batman, here's a cure. Also, Gotham, I see why you are the way you are, because my lord.
Oh, let's please talk about that whole dialogue between Weiss and Batman when she was in Gotham and he was poisoned.
Because before that, like whenever they got to Gotham, they were like, "Oh shit, this dump is Gotham."
He literally was shitting on where this man was from.
Literally, like she was like, "I see why he's broken."
I
Because
see. That was the most underhanded ass.
yeah,
Like,
they
I
were like,
see why.
"Look at this fucking place. Like, it's daytime and the sun is not out."
It's their whole dialogue. This man wholeheartedly, she's talking, saying all kinds of stuff. He's not responding. He's not saying anything. I literally laughed. I said, "Oh, he's just not responding to anything she's saying." And then like she said like one thing about something totally irrelevant to what she was just talking about, and then he responded. I said, "Oh yeah, he gave no fucks whatsoever what she was talking about."
Yep. Because yeah, she was like, "We all are a product of where we come from," and
Literally.
all
Oh,
that shit.
she gave a backstory actually. He did not respond.
Yeah, had nothing to say about any of that. So yeah. And we could see that they were starting to like each other. Like there was something there, obviously.
Clearly.
And I think that's a part of why they didn't give her powers, because the other three got powers. She did not.
Yeah, I was confused because towards the end though, I was like, she was doing something ice related.
Well, I think that she's got kind of just the power of the wheel. Because I noticed on her little sword thing, on her little rapier, she had a spinner on it and it had different colors. So I think that she
Mm.
can it looked to me like her power is manifestation, and so she can manifest a bunch of different things, or
It
she can
definitely seemed like
pull stuff out of different dimensions.
because I feel like I didn't see her use anything or do anything like powers wise until the very end. And then
She
I felt like
didn't.
it was ice out of nowhere. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Well, and
When
that's
did you
because,
acquire this?
like, in the first movie, like, she would create the little, like, star thing,
Yeah.
and
And she
that
could
would,
do,
and stuff would appear out of those.
yeah.
So, yeah, like, she's a summoner,
Good.
and
But I guess I was just trying to figure like when did she actually like acquire such a thing and was able to do it in this part of the movie?
and we'll talk about why here in a minute, but, um, yeah, so Weiss, again, starts talking to Batman, gives him the cure, and he starts like reacting to it. And she's like, God damn it, I thought that this was the cure. Like, what are we doing? But anyway, so Cyborg is, trying to do some stuff, and then Kilgore pops up and he's like, yeah, 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 your computer system. Hey, look, I need your help. and they kind of lead us to believe because they have Arthur being like, Kilgore, where are you? Oh God, I guess I'll have to do it myself. You know that whole thing. So Kilgore's like, hey, I need help. And I'm glad that they were like, hey, we should, it's a trap. I'm really glad that everybody was pretty comfortable with, like, yeah, we should treat it like it's a trap because it's probably a trap.
Yeah, I definitely thought they was gonna walk in just like willy-nilly, you know? And,
Yeah,
and I'd be like, ah, that's a little too easy.
same. Like, I thought it was going to be a situation where Flash was going to be like, guys, it's a trap. And everybody else was going to be like, we need all the
No.
help we can get. Arthur, is a piece of shit. And this is what so of course Kilgore needs help because Arthur's a really bad guy. Like, I thought that they were going to do that. And yeah, like it was going to be bad. But they were like, no, let's go ahead and meet with him under the assumption that it's absolutely a trap.
Yo.
And honestly, I'm glad that they did that because if Batman wasn't awake, I wonder if they would have done that. Because Batman's the guy who's going to say, no, we need to be prepared for if this goes badly.
Prepared for the preparedness
Yeah,
for whatever it is.
whatever it is. So, yeah, they, meet with Kilgore and uh he's in a gorilla body, which is why Flash makes the Grodd reference. But he's like, "Oh God." So, it's 100% a trap. Like
Yep.
Arthur's there. Yeah, like it was exactly what they thought it was going to be. And so Weather Wizard, Mirror Master, and Killer Croc are like, hey, we're here to help because we knew it was a trap. And they're like, you're not going to destroy our world because how can we do crimes if our world's gone?
Which is
So,
it's even more unique than I'm like, for this, we're including these three other villains, which, we could have included more people, but at this point, I'm assuming they ran out of voice actors. And we were just
and
like, we need three people.
and that's usually a situation where they'll just repeat people. Like they'll be like, hey, Superman, you busy? You want to read another character real quick? Just change it up. Don't sound like Superman, but you want to read for somebody else?
Yep.
Sure. Because they didn't have a lot of lines. So, yeah, it would have been real easy to just be like, hey, you're already here. So could you just, pop out like five more lines in a different voice and then we'll be good? Yeah, why not? Check's already in the mail.
Facts.
Like, if I'm salary, sure.
Facts.
Let's,
I'm here, I guess.
yeah, we're already here. Let's go ahead and knock it out. So I'm sure that they were in that boat of just like, we're just going to use who's already in the studio today. So, fight breaks out, and this is when we see that Ruby have their original powers. And when that happened, I was like, oh, okay, we're in a digital world because they don't have their Justice League universe powers. They just have their like actual Ruby powers.
They
So
went into
that's
the hollow trap or whatever.
yeah, that's when I was like, okay, we're in the Digiverse. So
This honestly though, I'm not gonna also lie to you. That whole like this is a trap, but this is also a trap to your trap, and now we're taking over the trap that you originally also set. I was so confused. I was like, I don't know where the fuck we are right now,
yep,
but this is some good action scenes, and I'll take it.
yep, yeah. I was kind of yeah. It was like, what the fuck is what? What are we doing?
I don't know what's going on. Cyborg's trying to do something, I guess. He might get corrupted. I don't know, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And again, maybe if I don't know if it's a situation where if we were familiar with Ruby, this would have been like more like but it was hard to tell whether this was something that knowing Ruby would have helped understand just because Kilgore was the one running it.
Yeah.
But
But it was
I
just like because we're
but I
now
guess Arthur was the one creating it. Like I yeah. It
based off of this trap, now we're in different worlds because we're inside of this hollow
Yeah, like
trap.
I guess Cyborg trapped everybody in a Digiverse, which was a box, and then Kilgore tried to like take it over, and then Cyborg. Yeah, so not exactly clear, but again, I knew that we were in a Digiverse whenever. RWBY were themselves and the Justice League were also themselves.
Yeah.
Um, so, everybody starts fighting. Everything's happening. Kilgore possesses Wonder Woman, and I think it's Arthur who's like, "We're in a digiverse," and so Kilgore was like, "Oh, all right, not a problem at all." And so he just like melts into it.
Yeah,
He
I
takes
definitely want to see more of them fighting Wonder Woman though, because I was like, how y'all about to handle this? Because she's about
that's
to
what
mob through y'all.
that's what I said. I was like, Wonder Woman is too much. Y'all are
I
gonna
I
lose.
literally, as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, this is about to be interesting. Because yeah, because she's about to mop. There's
She's
no
too
way y'all
much.
are powerful enough to stop this.
Especially if y'all got kryptonite like around. Nobody here can do anything about Wonder. She's too fucking much. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be a situation where they weren't able to handle it because Wonder Woman was going to like fight her way out, or like Wonder Woman was going to get unpossessed, or like be fighting
Mhm.
against Kilgore in her own mind. Like that's,
Yeah.
I thought Wonder Woman was going to be a part of the solution, but they, again, like this is where again they let Ruby cook, but not there wasn't a whole lot of cooking from a lot of other people, in my
Oh
opinion.
no. Not really, to be honest. I mean, the Flash gave like he was giving some a little bit of some actual like his punches and whatnot,
A little
but
bit,
like the highlight of action for every action sequence was Ruby.
100%.
Like was definitely going in majority of the time.
And even the people that were doing hand to hand, so like whenever Black Canary would like kick somebody, or whenever Batman would, roundhouse, like none of that looked particularly
Nah.
spectacular. Like I Ruby was cooking, and that's what we got.
Yeah, they definitely put effort into her choreography of like moves of how she's teleporting across the
Oh,
field, how
and I
she's
will say
uniquely using it.
Weiss, whenever Weiss did have her rape, like she was fun to watch too. Because again, she's a summoner, but yeah, like she was. I enjoy watching her go to work as well.
Yeah.
It's very different, but yeah, like when Ruby was teleporting, or when Ruby was herself and she was like floating in her
Hmm.
little like leaf cloud thing. Yeah, like they let her go. But Kilgore possesses Wonder Woman, isn't really able to do much, and then they break out of the Digiverse, kinda, I guess, but not really. And or
Yeah.
they go into a different one, and the worlds keep like at one point they're in Gotham City, at one point they're in I think Yang was like, "Oh, this is familiar," or Weiss. One of them, it was
It was wise. It was like her home world, like where
yeah.
she was from. But that was key information back from when she was telling Batman her backstory of
Yeah.
if your home is destroyed and he just did not respond whatsoever.
Yeah. So, we got to see her dark world as well. Um So that happens, and then I'm sorry, Kilgore finds himself in Yang because Yang says something, and all of them are like, "You're not Yang.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
could never trick us." And I'm like, "Yeah, she just menacingly said, 'You sure about that?' as Kilgore." So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure she wasn't gonna trick y'all,
and I
but
was
okay. So, um, Flash is particularly hurt by that because, he and Yang had a heartfelt moment. So he was like, "Take me instead." And then just vibrates her head. And I was like, "Flash, you are going to kill that poor girl."
I literally was thinking that I'm like, this would kill somebody. If this was like the boys or like Invincible,
Dead.
they're dead.
Dead.
You just shook the shit out of her head.
Yeah, dead.
Her brain is
Because,
scrambled.
yeah, like at a minimum, she's got CTE. At a
That's
minimum.
minimum. And I'm like, okay. So then I was like, okay, he did it for electricity, and electricity is what like,
So he's sending an electricity through her brain. Dead.
yeah, I'm like,
Like, she's dead. Regard, don't matter how you shake it, she's dead.
I was like, golly, well, you shook the mess out of her.
He shakes Kilgore into himself, and then uh Green Lantern is like, "Flash, let me help you." Oh, am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back now, but you cut
Okay.
out at right after we said dead. She's dead.
Okay,
You had cut out for a second because I was like, you stopped talking. And I looked up and you were talking, but I didn't hear you. And then you came back just a minute ago.
cool. So she's dead, but the movie's got to happen. So, Green Lantern is like, "Hey, let me help," and she puts Flash in a bubble, and then Kilgore's like, "I got you," and then takes over Green Lantern. And I was like, "Okay, this might actually be a problem
Now this is where the problem really is because
because
you
we've
can do
watched,
anything.
yeah, like we've watched Jessica Cook in both movies. Like she's an issue, and I thought, oh, because she can open the portal to the worlds, it's about to get ugly."
Hmm.
But then I looked at the runtime and it was like 10 minutes left. I was like, oh, never mind.
This movie gotta go. It gotta end.
Yeah, there's no, she's not gonna do nothing.
It's an hour 15. It gotta go. It gotta end.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's not about to get wild like I wanted it to.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh yeah, we about to be opening doors, sending people up. Yeah, it's about to get real ugly. It did not. But Cyborg is like, hey, if I could capture one of like these are the six types of Grim we have. We have a Kryptonite Grim, we got a voice Grim, we got a poison. Like he started listing the types, and he was like, if I could get one of each, I think I can make something happen. I think I can shut them all down. And Vixen was like, okay, say less.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely just think the whole cyborg thing was definitely just it was yeah.
I knew that Cyborg was gonna have to be the one to do it because it was Kilgore, and like Kilgore is just code. Like he doesn't have like a real form. He just kind of exists in the internet.
I
So
I
I
think at one
figured,
point I did get lost also in um she was like, "Oh, you can't do that. You're gonna lose yourself or something. Like you're basically not gonna be yourself." And then like in the
yeah,
midst
like
of
he was gonna
doing
become
that,
a Grim or something.
yeah, in the midst of him doing that, he was just like himself.
He was fighting against the corruption.
Yeah, that's what I was like, but it seemed like it wasn't like it didn't seem like a long struggle, it seemed like a snap.
Yeah,
But I was
I
like,
think,
okay, maybe this is like his internal self battling the corruption. I don't know. I was really trying to follow along with what Surfer Cyborg was doing. I just yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, so Cyborg, yeah, he says I need one of each, and then eventually he's like, hey, I need dust, and Vixen is like, say less. So Vixen's like, I need dust. They give her a little vial of dust. He, puts it in his arm. Da da
Yep.
da da da. We're good. Um, so Kilgore takes over Green Lantern, and the Ruby squad goes over to handle Arthur. And Arthur just starts monologuing, like just goes straight up. And again, this is when I was like, oh, that's absolutely Zarbon. But yeah, he just starts monologuing, and he's like, I am the smartest man there ever was, there ever will be. I'm so smart that I, used Kilgore to get all this shit done. And Kilgore's like, what was that?
Let me just say, what'd you say, Nick?
What you just, yeah, nigga, what you say?
Me?
Oh, you use oh, I got something for your ass.
Like I said, nah, he ain't talking about me. No way.
Yeah. This motherfucker talk about me. So yeah, he goes and possesses Arthur, and then they start arguing like inside of Arthur's head, and that's when Cyborg is just like, all right, we're done here.
Time to shut this down. Yeah,
And
let's
then
go
yeah,
ahead.
like just yeah, like all right, guys, we're good. We did it. Mission accomplished. Um, so yeah, they basically just trapped them in the box. And all right, and just a little debrief. So they're trapped in there forever? Yep. They're never getting out?
Literally.
Nope.
Just each other.
Okay. Team Ruby goes home, and the Justice League is like, hey, all the Grim are gone.
Yeah.
Uh, and Lex Luthor's starting to get loud, so let's go take care of that.
Yeah, man. The ending of that movie was so it was so it felt so just sudden. Like
Yeah.
things were just happening and then boom, the movie's over. They're trapped together based off of them arguing with each other. And
Yes.
that's a wrap. We're going home.
Yeah.
We're That's it. Yeah, that ending had me so lost. I was just there to appreciate the fight scenes, though. I will say that much.
Absolutely. Even though, again, I wasn't super impressed by the fighting in this movie.
Yeah, it wasn't super impressive, but it was definitely much better than part one.
Yeah.
And I
Again,
think
I
that's what had me more happy.
I liked that Ruby was cooking.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like I can't say that the action overall was anything special or impressive or
This did need to be two parts. It almost seems like they made part one and then was like, we could make this a part two. They got to the end of part one was like, we actually could flip this a little bit, make a second movie out of this.
I feel like a second movie was a part of the plan the whole time. What's funny is even though this was in two parts, I still don't feel like this movie was paced well.
No, it wasn't. It was horribly paced.
And that's like if you do a part one, part two, like pacing should absolutely not be an issue because you've done a part one, part two. Like that's the whole point of doing a part one, part two is to clean up any pacing problems. And this movie was still badly paced.
Yeah, because I was even thinking, I was like, based on like the movie and the scenes and stuff, I was like, to be honest, there's really not much. Like, there's not much. It's just you got this, and then that, and then yeah, they were forcing into things. Certain things when you expect a backstory or like a flashback or something just didn't happen. They just said things and they were like, you either know it or you don't. And you don't know it, that's too fucking bad.
And sometimes the problem is I'm okay with that when I know it.
Yeah.
And
Because
since I
let's
didn't
say
know it,
like
I didn't like it.
yeah, if you know it all the time, it's like, okay, I already hear this story all the time. I already know all this stuff. We don't need to know all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was that was definitely just the movie. Yeah, I don't even know what I rated the last one.
Uh that's
But this
okay
one ain't
because that
it
means
ain't that much higher.
you can rate this one independently. That's so it's actually perfectly okay that you don't remember what
Don't
you
even
rated the
it
last
don't
one.
even matter because it ain't that much higher. The only reason why it is higher is because the action scenes were better.
And that's not saying a lot in my
That
opinion.
is not saying a lot because there were basically super trash action scenes in the first one, to be honest.
Quite frankly.
Yeah. I honestly could say like I could forget both of these movies next week and
Be perfectly okay with it.
I would perfectly be fine. I actually, if someone ever had brought up to me like, "Oh, have you ever watched Ruby?" I could say no, and also based off of the collab movie I've seen, I don't think I will.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm that interested.
I will say I assume Ruby is not in this animation
I
because again,
think it
DC has
is.
used this animation before.
But I thought Ruby is in this because I could have sworn I could have sworn I've seen a trailer of Ruby before, and the reason why I did not watch it because I do remember it popping was because of the animation style, and I think it was because it was this animation style.
Okay. Yeah, there's no way they can get me then. Like if Ruby's in this animation style, then they will not have me as a fan.
It
Sorry. Like
was
that's just what it's gonna be.
it was I don't know I don't know if it was this animation style exactly, but I do know it was a animation style that I was not a fan of, which makes me believe it was this one, and that's the reason why I didn't watch the series. So I was like,
Okay.
no.
Because I again I know that DC has used this and like the first time I saw this animation style, I was like, ew, I don't like it. And yeah, with Battle of the Super Sons, yeah, I was like, no, let's not do this again. Um, Batman Ninja is kind of in the same animation style. That's probably the first time I really remember it, and that movie was a fucking dumpster fire. But
I thought she was about to say good for some
no, not at all. It was not good. Oh, if you find the time.
Batman Ninja. It was crazy. I thought about clicking on it one time because I saw it and I was like, I really don't think I have interest in this one to be honest. And I think I ended up clicking on The Watchmen Part 1 instead.
Okay. Just listen to my review of it and you'll be covered
Mm,
if you're ever curious.
that is,
Uh
I will
yeah, but you
make
don't need
sure
it.
I definitely tune into that because to know is that like it was bad, like okay, that makes me not feel better, but like okay, yeah, it saves me time of having to figure that out and be like ah.
Yeah, like if you want to kill an hour and a half, listen to me talk about it rather than actually watching it. But anyway, another sidebar. Juice Man. Ruby and the Huntsman, or the Superheroes and Huntsmen Part 2. Scale of 1 to 10, what are you thinking?
Oh man, I'm trying to be objective outside of the first one. I'm gonna act like if I'd never seen the first one, I just want to see this one. Standalone movie. I mean, maybe I'm gonna give it a 6. How about that?
Okay.
I'll give it a 6 only because it did I did actually enjoy some of the fight scenes. And uh I think only because I enjoyed Ruby, to be honest. In the fight scenes, that was literally it. Everything else about the movie, honestly, could be scrapped if I could care.
Okay. I did like some of the conversations that were had, but not enough to go for it. Like, I feel like there are some sixes I like more than this movie, so I'm gonna have to go 5.5.
I definitely think there is some 6s because now when I think about it, I'm like, damn, what other things have I rated a 6 that I know 100% at the bottom of my heart is better than this, and I still gave this a 6. But objective,
And
standalone by itself. I'm not rating anything else what I consider a 6. I'm gonna just say it's a 6, and we're just gonna we'll go from there.
I'm not mad
Other
about it.
people, I will say, other people will probably think it's a 2 or a 3.
Yeah. And some people, maybe Ruby fan, maybe this was for the Ruby fans.
Had to be for the Ruby fan. But even then, I think if I was a Ruby fan, I'd probably be upset. I'll say we didn't need this.
It's
We didn't
that's
need
very
this.
possible.
The series could have ended where it was at.
Yep.
Didn't need
Um,
this.
but yeah, I cannot say that I liked it. And I don't think that was necessarily Ruby's fault, but uh yeah, no. I I
Yeah, no,
was not
I would not recommend this movie to anybody, to be honest.
I
I would
too
not
would
say
not
go.
recommend this.
Yeah, no. If you were a Ruby fan, I'd probably say, yeah, I would ask, have you watched?
See, and
And
that's
I'll
the thing,
say,
like,
go watch it and tell me what you think, actually.
yeah, I think I would do the same thing. If somebody is a Ruby fan, I would say watch it and like get back to me on if as a Ruby fan you enjoyed this because I can say as a DC fan, no. I
Yeah,
didn't dislike it, but I did not like it.
no, it was a waste of production. I don't know what their thought process. I still need to know whose
Whose
idea
idea this was?
was this. Who in that office said this is a good idea? And whoever said that, maybe not fire them because we all need jobs. We
Of
all
course.
need jobs. But just reconsider your next performance review. How about that?
Yep.
Just maybe not a bonus next time, maybe. I don't know.
Yep. You're
But
probably
just
getting a 2 out of 5.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's rethink about that a little bit.
Yeah. Let's get with the creative team. Let's circle back.
Yeah. Maybe a new leader. Maybe mm, a new team. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. And maybe James Gunn was like, "Oh, y'all get the fuck out. Whoever did that, done, out of there." Like maybe that already happened.
Yeah.
But all right, anything else on the movie?
Nah, man. I don't think I have anything else to say about this one, man. This one's just not a good, not a good movie.
And it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just have to leave it definitely at that.
Okay. Okay. In the next episode, we will be discussing Justice League War World. So until then, salutations.